Hello everyone, this is Awesh. In previous video, we have learned how to use data binding, how to create components using Angular CLI, and now we are going to understand some other pillars of Angular, right? So today we are going to discuss about pipes, right? So I have prepared a PDF file for that. Okay, here. So basically, pipes are used to transform a data from one format to another format, right? So just if I take an example, suppose you are typing anything and it is in lowercase, right? So pipes can help you get those things in uppercase, right? So in Angular, like you can use the pipes by using this syntax, right? So if you are using interpolation and whatever data we want to be transformed, you can just use a pipeline symbol here like this, the pipe symbol, right? And then name of the pipe. Okay, so you can include multiple pipes in the same interpolation, right? Using this multiple pipes operator like this. Like if you have two pipes to be applied, then you can just place a pipe here, then write the second, like first pipe name, and then again place this pipe symbol and then write the second pipe name. Okay, so let us see this in action. But before getting started, the Angular provides us some built-in pipes, that is date pipe, uppercase, lowercase, currency, decimal, and percentage pipe, right? So now we will be understanding these things very deeply. So let's just go to our. अगर आपको मेरी वीडियो पसंद आई तो आप मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके बेल आइकन को दबा दीजिए ताकि फ्यूचर में जो भी वीडियोस अपलोड होंगी उसकी नोटिफिकेशन आपको मिल सके। को लाइक कर लीजिए। साथ में अगर आपको कोई कमेंट करना है, कोई सुझाव देना है तो आप कमेंट सेक्शन में आप मेरे को जरूर बताइए कि वीडियो कैसे our project that we have created earlier. And if you remember, we have created a home component, so I'm just going to open a home component.ts file, right? So inside this we have created multiple properties. So if you see, I have created a name property like my name, okay, and my name is having a value of Peter. Okay, now let us open the template file of it. So it is this. So we are using my name here, if you remember. So if I run this project, let me first see how it looks like. So just open the terminal and type ngserve, hit enter. Now it is going to run the project in your browser. So once it is compiled successfully, we can go to the browser and refresh that. So let's just wait. All right, so it is compiled successfully. Let us now go to the browser and see it here. So I just refreshed it right here. So name is showing as Peter, like P is a uppercase letter and other letters are in small case letters, right, in lowercase. But let's suppose I want everything to be in uppercase, or for other time I want everything to be in lowercase. So let's see how it will go. Okay, so here we have to use a pipe. So first of all we have to use a pipe symbol like this, then name of the pipe. So if I want to make that in uppercase, I will just use uppercase. Okay, so this is simply going to make that text in uppercase. Okay, I have saved it. Now go back to the browser and see the Peter is all in uppercase, right? Similarly, if you want to make that in lowercase, you can just use, like you can just replace this uppercase pipe with lowercase. Okay, and go to the browser, see everything is in lowercase, right? Similar to that, we do have other pipes also. For example, this date pipe. So let us use date pipes. Okay, so I'm going to create another property inside this ts file. Okay, let's suppose date of birth, dob. It will be type of date. Okay, and the initial value will be new date. for now we are just going to keep it simple. So I'm just getting the current date as a date of birth. Okay, or we can simply change the variable name to d now, like date time now. Okay, so you won't get confused. So this is the property name, so I just copy it and go to the HTML file, and now include another paragraph tag and place current date and time. Okay, so here we are going to use the interpolation to get that d now bound with this particular template, right? So just write d now. Okay, so if you save, I don't have used any pipe, so and if you save and check how it looks like, then see here it is showing the complete date and time things, right, including the time zone also. But I don't want to let users see these things. These are actually not good for the end users. They simply want the date and time, simple, right? It is including so much details here. So to transform this date in a readable format, we are going to use the date pipe. Okay, so let us now go to the Visual Studio Code again and use the date pipe. Okay, so to use date pipe, you have to use a pipe symbol, then date, and now save it and see what happens. See, it is now simple, November 1, 2022, right? So it is even simple, but let's suppose you want even more readable things, like you want to specify your own format for this. Suppose you want to display like first date, then month, then year, and time also. So what you can do, you can use a colon here, like you can give some parameters to the date pipe, right? So to give parameters to a pipe, you can just use this single quote, this colon symbol, and inside this single quotes you can provide the format, like whatever format you want. So I want it to have dd, like 2 digits of date, then hyphen, then 2 digits of month. So month, for month you have to type m as a uppercase letter, right? Then 4 digits of year, so y will be in lowercase. Then you want hours, right? So 2 digit of hours in small h, then colon, then minutes, small m, then seconds, then am or pm, right? So I'm just going to use a, like for am pm you have to use a as a format. Now that we have done everything, we are going to save it and see on the browser what happens. See, we are having the name of, like, the date, then month, then year, then a space, and then hour, minute, second, and am or pm. Clear? So this is how a pipe is used to transform a date in a user readable format, right? Now if I just take an example, like you can use multiple pipes altogether, then let's suppose I want to make this pm in a small case or lower case, right? So you can just simply go to the code and create another pipe here and use it like this, lowercase. Okay, like this is your first pipe and this is going to be your second pipe. You can place other multiple pipes here, right? Uppercase. So there is a logic here, like if I include lowercase then uppercase both all together, so do you know which one will get effective for this particular value? Okay, so let us see. I'm assuming it will be uppercase because the pipe will first transform the date in this format, then it is going to transform this value, transformed value, to lowercase value, then this lowercase value is going to be transformed in the uppercase value, right? So let us just save it and check on the browser. See, it is doing the same way. Whatever pipe is mentioned in the last, it is going to be executed very, like it will be effective for that particular value. So if I just exchange uppercase and lowercase, Okay, then see what happens. Right, first it is transforming to uppercase, then it is transforming to lowercase. Saved it. Now go to the browser. See, it is now lowercase. So this is how pipes works. Okay, we can learn more pipes in later videos, like currency pipe. Let's discuss this pipe also. This is also very useful pipe. Okay, so I'm going to Visual Studio Code again, and then let's suppose I'm going to create a property for maybe price, okay, or maybe salary. It will be type of number, and then it is going to have some value like 10,000. Okay, so this is a currency, right? Like if you saw this salary, like if you save it and go to your HTML and bind it here, p tag, and inside p tag we are going to say something like whatever name was there, like my name, getting salary of, right, salary of salary. See what it prints. See, it is printing Peter getting salary of 10,000, right? So see this 10,000, it is not so effective, right? So effective by looking here. It is what? It is just a number, but we are focusing like it is a salary. So there must be something like INR, some commas, right? So this must be there in this number. So to use that thing, that formatting here, we are just going to use the pipe of currency. Okay, so now see, I just saved it, and now go to the browser. See, it is by default it is producing the values to dollar, right? And see the commas here. It is transformed with 2 decimal points also. Now let's suppose you want to change this dollar with Indian rupees, right? So to make that to Indian rupees, you just have to provide its formatting like this. So you have to provide a parameter to that currency pipe inside this single quotes like INR. Okay, so now save it and go to the browser. You will be seeing this rupee symbol. The next pillar of Angular application is directives. So let us understand what is a directive. So in Angular application, the directives are the classes that are going to add some more behaviors to the elements, right? So the more behaviors could be like if you are working on a project and you have something, some conditions, right? Based on some conditions, you want to hide or show your part of screen, right? Like you want to hide something based on some conditions, or you want to show something whenever there is a condition like getting true. Okay, so in that case we are actually going to use the directives. Another example could be like if you have a list of items and you want them to be printed on the UI, that is user interface, then you can use some directives to do that. Okay, so it is actually going to play with the document object model, that is DOM, in your application. So it is actually three types, like there is a three types of directives. The very first one is component directive. You are already aware of components in Angular applications, right? So components are a type of directive, right? So they are actually used to display some user interface. You already aware of that. And then the second one is attribute directive. So attribute directives are, if you have seen any HTML file, you must see there are few attributes. So for example, if I open the home component.html file, okay, and if you see here, let me just close this here, and if you see this type, right? So type is an attribute, right? Similarly, value is also attribute. So this type of attribute, like there is a type of directive that you can use as a attribute of that particular tag. So in this case it is input tag. We can have division tag, like a directive used for div as well. So This is basically Angular is providing three inbuilt attribute directives. The first one is ng class, the second one is ng style, and the third one is ng model. So these are actually inbuilt attribute directives in Angular. So the first directive in attribute directive, it is actually to toggle some CSS classes. Let's suppose you have created some classes and you want to apply those classes on the HTML element based on some conditions, right? So this is how you can use that. Don't worry, I will be just doing everything in the I will just explaining everything by doing on the Visual Studio Code also. The second thing is, like, if you want to apply some styles on any element, you can use this particular format, okay, and it is going to be applied based on the conditions you are providing. Okay, now the third thing, that is ng model, that you already know, like it is used for two-way data binding in Angular. Okay, so let us understand this structural directive also, then we are going to do some code also for that, for all the directives. So structural directives are actually directives that are actually going to play with the DOM, and it is going to manipulate that to show or hide some content from the HTML document, right? So if you want to hide something, right? If you want to hide something based on some conditions, you can use the ng if directive. Okay. The second type of structural directive is ng for. That is actually used whenever you want to repeat some HTML document, right? So let's say, for example, you have a list of items and you want them to be printed on the UI. For example, if you are browsing any e-commerce website, so you are finding any product, right? So that product is actually that could be multiple products. So it is actually being printed on the UI by listing, right? You can see list of those products on the page. So similar to that, you can get that kind of feature using ng for directive, and it is going to take this list of array, okay, and you can just iterate through that array like this. So it is going to print the items one by one. Okay, so this is very useful structural directives. You will be seeing this in Excel. The next structural directive is ng switch. So you must be aware inside programming languages like C Sharp or Java or Python, not in Python actually. So there are switch statements, right? So if you have a condition and you want to match based on some cases, right? So you can use switches. So this is the format, or this is the way you can use the ng switch inside your Angular application. Okay, so now after these definitions, let us just jump into the Visual Studio.